Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, fellow lions. How are you? I hope all is well with you. This is Teacher Kaitesi. I have a brief message today. So, I told you, as I started this channel mostly to help my students, I felt like parents needed to know that what we were teaching the students was irrelevant to the times that we are living in. Most of the education system that we use in Africa is from the colonialists, the colonial masters. And I think if we're educated, we should be able to change the education and make it more suitable for us and put things that are relevant to the time, you know? So when I started it, it was to help my students, to see if I could awaken parents to coming together and we change this education system. But as I realized, people are very reluctant. When you say change, people are like, now what do we do? Where do we start? Do we go to the ministry? You know, it became something that was complicated. I'm really still hoping that some people can decide and we come together and we build something else, honestly speaking, because I think we can. We cannot claim to be educated if we cannot create our own education system. It makes no sense to me that as parents we can't come up with a system that is suitable for our children, you know. But anyway, so fast forward, as I was doing that, I realized I wasn't effectively changing anything much, apart from having a few parents talking about it but not doing anything. So it evolved, the channel evolved into talking to fellow lions, because I realized maybe I'll make more change if I talk to my kind of people. Okay? Now, talking to you fellow lions, I realized something. Many assume that because I'm a woman, I'm automatically a priestess in the spiritual world. I'm not a priestess. I'm not a priestess, I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior of light. I fight everything in life with the truth and honesty. I look at things without any kind of favor or favoritism or unfairness, no. I don't use feelings to do things. For me, if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I could love you very much, but if you're wrong, I have to tell you that you're wrong. And that's the problem that I face with most people. People want that when you love them, you have to side with them, whether they are right or wrong, you must side with them. That's not how it works with me. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Okay? So, I'm a spiritual warrior. And I know my rank. If you're a spiritual warrior, or if you're a priestess, or whatever it is that you are, I'm sure by now you know about it. If you have been doing this spiritual work over time, you understand, you will be told who you are, whether in your dreams. Me, I was told in my dreams that I was a warrior, and I was told what rank I was, and I was given a certain rank because I did certain work, which one day I will talk about. But I wanted to clarify that I'm not a priestess. I'm not a priestess, I'm a warrior. And so as warriors, those who are warriors, you know, we fight, okay? And I told you we fight with truth and honesty and directness, no favoritism. So during these fights, I've realized that because the people we're fighting against, we are the ones that gave the information. Everything I told you that these people know about magic, all the magic that they use, we are the ones that told them about it. Okay, we are the ones who told them about it. And I told you the reason why we told them about it, and then we were made to forget, so that we see what that magic does. You see the problem that I've realized with magic. You have to be very careful when you're using it. People are using magic badly. People are using magic to call customers to their product, to buy their product, when they are not putting in the effort to make the product good. And this is where we are learning that magic can be misused. It's being misused. Someone, instead of making the effort to make a good product, so that when I come, I go to the market, I pick and I try, and then I decide the one I want, they use magic to pull you to buy their product, to become their customer, not because they have the best, but because they have used the most magic. You know, they have gone to the most, the wizard or the witch that has the most power. Do you understand? So we are seeing how this magic can be misused. This is part of what we are learning. And so I've realized also, as a warrior, there are times when we give information to our enemy. We give the information to the enemy because we know ultimately, I want to see if this information, when it's used against me, it can work. It's how stubborn we are. I've told you, me by nature, I'm a stubborn person. I learn most things by experience. Actually, I'll learn most things by experience. I will let them have the information, then I will know they're going to use it against me. Then I see how long it works against me. So it's good as a warrior to keep a notebook, keep a journal, keep information about yourself. Learn that if I had this dream at this time and I did this and this, how long did it take before I saw the results? You get it helps you to understand how much how wide your parameter is, how long it takes between the time you dreamt it and the time you saw it or the time it happened. It helps you to understand yourself better. Okay, so why I'm telling you this, I had this dream, and though in this dream I'm aware of the fact that in the supermarkets they sell things that are tainted. So when I go into this supermarket, somehow I choose the supermarket according to what I feel is more relatable to us, because in the dream I know the owner. So when I get there, I tell the owner that I need our products. I don't need these other products. The owner takes me to the back and so shows me and tells me, this is now the drink which I'm going to give you. So I say, well, why? He says, this one is what you need now. So he shows me this drink and I look at it, and when I look at the manufacturing dates and expiration dates, it hasn't yet been made. Like, it's not yet this time. It was like way in the future, you know. So I'm like, but this doesn't show that it has even been made yet. He says yes, because this is what you need. I ask why. He says, now you're fighting enemies who are different from the ones you've been fighting. I said, what? So he says, you take the drink, you will understand. So I leave the supermarket. I get home, I drink some, and I feel amazing after taking it. So this witch comes, this known witch that I know very well practices magic on me comes. One of those people that robbed me comes. So she's talking to me nicely and she's saying, you know, we are failing this thing. You people, it's now seeming like it's rigged. You're winning everything. I can't seem to win anything. So I tell her, now it's even going to get worse. She says, what do you mean? It can't get any worse. I tell her, now I have something. What I'm being given now, it's not even in the market yet. Imagine, I tell her. So now after telling her, she's like, what do you mean? So I show her. I go in, pick the drink, and I show her. She looks at it and she's like, but this doesn't even show that it has been made yet. I tell her, exactly. I tell her, so, you know, just give up. This war you've lost. Take what you have learned, and that's it. Then she leaves in a hurry. So when she leaves, I find myself in another place, and I'm talking to different people, and I'm teaching. And while I'm teaching, she comes with a bunch of young girls, teenagers. I would say from teenagers, because Spirit after told me that these are teenagers. She comes in with young people, and she shows them that that is her. So these girls come and they start pulling me and fighting against me, and we're fighting. And as we are fighting, I realize they're very strong. And usually for me, when I realize in a dream that spiritually I'm fighting and things are not going well, I usually fly off. That is my superpower in the dreams. I'm able to fly off. But I try to fly off and they keep pulling me back down. They do something and they keep pulling me back down. And even when I try to fly off, I can't really go far. It seems like I'm becoming heavy. So I keep failing to fly. Then I finally just charge myself and I fly. And I'm way above them. So I'm looking at them from far and thinking, how powerful are these young girls? And then one of them flies after me. And flies for a while, and then she falls. Now when she falls, her friends all run to her and they start asking her how she's doing it. So she starts to explain to them. I can see she's explaining to them how she did it. So I woke up anyway. So I asked Spirit, what's happening? And Spirit tells me, you see, once we start praying for the masses to awaken, these people are going to awaken. These ones who are just asleep, where the husband is practicing, the wife is practicing, the father, the mother, all in these families. People are going to awaken and they're going to realize we were right what we were telling them. So they are going to be on our side. That is now the battle ending. But we have to remember that these people, these witches and wizards, have been going to schools, they have been meeting young people and awakening a certain evil. There's a certain evil that was sent. This is what Spirit told me. There's a certain evil that has been sent where it is very powerful, and it's amongst the youngest people now. It's amongst teenagers. The Spirit told me that the most powerful and the most dangerous are all amongst teenagers. So you may find yourself in a situation where you're wondering, is this teenager doing things against me. You may feel a certain way, or they may say certain things when you're passing them, and it sounds like a spell, but then you're thinking, these are teenagers. Maybe it's their slang, maybe it's what. It's not. Be very careful with them. This is battlefield, my friend, and we are warriors of light, and this is our season. So like everything in life, our threat, our enemies are not witches and wizards anymore. Those ones we have won. Those ones we have won. The fact that you wake up every day and send them back their magic and you get back yours, we are winning. We are winning. Their trash is going back and our gold is coming back to us. But there are those entities that were brought here, that were brought during this time for this final battle. Those ones are very powerful and they are young. And so they have nothing to lose. They're not thinking of their job. They're not paying rent. They are not paying bills. They just have the fight. Okay? So while you're passing these young people with their headphones all looking like they don't care about you, just pay attention. Be attentive. Be attentive to always cleanse your aura. Protect yourself. Don't say that these are teenagers, they are young, they don't matter. No, they matter. At this point, everybody matters. You understand? Also, you may meet a teenager, or you may be talking to someone young and they give you advice which you don't think is coming from someone young. It's okay. They are also elders. Amongst them are the most powerful, and amongst them they are the most dangerous. I thought that was necessary information. Spirit told me I should share it, that you should beware. Don't take them that they are young kids, that they don't know anything. This is a battle. And so, once we have defeated the other ones, and they realize that they are not making any more changes, they can't effect any changes using the innocence, they are going to use their last fighting capacity. And this made me remember something. A couple of years ago, I read this story of this woman who got pregnant, and then she had this child, and the child used to shapeshift into a cat. And so, this was in Burundi, by the way, not even very far. And so as the child kept growing, the child should change into a cat and should come and breastfeed on the mom, even when she was 4, even when she was 5. And it was draining the mother. Okay? So the mother, like talking to people in Burundi, they tell her she should come to Rwanda. There's a pastor there who can help her to pray, and maybe we'll stop this. So she comes to Rwanda. She goes to meet this pastor, tells the pastor the story. The pastor thinks it's very strange, but anyway, this pastor supposedly also has his own power. So he goes through prayer, and after a couple of days, he realized that the girl in the spirit was still attached to the mother on the umbilical cord. Spiritually, they were still attached. So the guy organizes, he puts, writes on the paper here, the mother, the child, and cuts the umbilical cord in between. And when he cuts, he said at that time when he called the mother actually called him, screaming that the girl is screaming and saying, "What have you done to me? What have you done to me?" and was screaming the pastor's name. Because the mother had come and told the pastor what has happened, and the child was there when the mother had told the pastor about this. So the pastor, they were still in Rwanda, told them to come back. Then the child was like, "How could you do this to me? How can you separate me from my mother?" Then the pastor tells the child, "You're draining your mother. You're draining her out of life." The woman had become so thin, she couldn't put on any weight. She was always like dehydrated. But anyway, this girl continues growing, very brilliant. He said she was very brilliant and she was very beautiful. So this girl grows, and now when the guy was telling us this story, this pastor was telling this story, he was saying that this girl is now a teenager, that she's very brilliant in school, she still shapeshifts at home, she learns languages very easily, she's, So when I was thinking of this dream, when I had gone through this dream, Spirit reminded me of that kind of person. He said those kind of children are there, and they're mostly amongst the teenagers. They came here with power, a lot of power. So those will be our last battles that we are going to be fighting. Imagine you're going to be spiritually fighting against teenagers. It's ridiculous, right? But this is battle. So you have to be wary of teenagers. Just be careful. Just know that it's not just a teenager. It could be a very good teenager who could give you wonderful advice, but it can also be a very dangerous teenager. Okay? So just be careful as warriors, as fellow lions, just know that amongst teenagers there are people who are very powerful and very dangerous. Okay, so I wanted to share that. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. Please, let's continue to meditate. Also, Spirit told me to tell you that, okay, so also Spirit told me to remind you that if, because of how we are praying, the spiritual realm is really having a hard time. Okay, things are actually changing, by the way. And for me, truthfully, I want a change. I want a change that I can tell you about before this month ends. I really, really want a change. I want a visible change. Okay? So Spirit said that if you... Also, Spirit said to remind you that if you miss the window for 2 o'clock to meditate, or 2 in the night, especially in the daytime, I realize it's very difficult for me. Every time it's time, I put my alarm for 2 minutes to 2. Usually I have like 5 people in front of me. So it's becoming hard to do it at the exact time. So Spirit said it's okay, adjust. As soon as you're done, find time, sit, and then do it. Okay, so don't say that I've missed the window and that's it. No. Please still go ahead and meditate on what we talked about in the last videos. Also, today is the 5th. That means we have 3 more days. Please do your best, warriors. Fellow lions, please do your best. If you're a priestess, if you're a warrior, if you're, I don't know what else to say, but whatever you are as a lion, please do your best these 3 days. Let's meditate on these things that we want changed. The ones we talked about. Let's thank for increased protection for those we love and love us back. Let's ask for restoration of our health, wealth, and love life, and let's agree to it being restored. Agree to the restoration of the love life, of the wealth, health of your kind, your lion family, your lion brothers and sisters. Please make sure to remember your 8 things that you don't want. Make sure to add on that all masses should be awakened. The innocent should know what's happening to them. They should know what their loved ones are doing on them. They should. Okay? Please. This is the time we can effect a change. I really want a change that I can. I want a change that is there. I don't want to look for it. I want it. And I think you're all tired. You really need a change. So please, let's do this seriously. Do whatever it is that you do spiritually. These are the last 3 days are very important. If you feel you need to fast, please fast. If you feel you need more meditation time, please do it 3-4 times a day. It's good. Okay? If there are certain habits that you know are not good that you do, try and put them aside for these remaining 3-4 days. This portal is apparently so small that if you're carrying any baggage, you can fail to enter it. So that's why we need to make ourselves as pure and as clean as we can possibly be. But trust me, if I can clean a bit of me and you clean a bit of you and someone else cleans a bit of them, that we have cleaned, if it gets together and it's pure and it's good and it goes in, it will be a fantastic reward for all of us. This is why I brought this, so that we do it together. Because if I do a bit of work and you do a bit and someone else does a bit, I know lions, we change all the time. We're volatile. I know this. Okay? Situations change by the hour. Situations change by the day. But let's do our best. Eat healthy. Drink more water. Try and stay clean. Have less anger. Don't go into things that you don't need to do. Try and keep yourself as clean and as sober-minded as you can possibly do. Please. Let's keep it so that at the end of this we can say, I got this worked out, this has happened, I want to hear testimonies. I really, really need testimonies. I don't know about you guys, but I really, really need testimonies. I need them. Okay? So please, let's do this together. It's 3 days. Do the best you can do. Do the best you can do. Okay? Okay. All the best, please. And may the great lion continue to strengthen you and protect you and keep you focused. Focus. We need to focus. So let's focus, lions. Let's win this war, okay? We've already won. Everything is for us. Nothing is against us, okay? So all the best. Much love.